So it's Shakura, myself, and Basti here
Hello
this
again.
morning. Weekly check-in. Yeah, exactly. Some of you were on our webinar last night. Community work. Good morning to you. And yeah, we've got another point of the week, which is wonderful. And so if you can just say hi in the chat, tell us where you're from. If you're in the UK, you're probably super, super chilly right now. We are here, like everything was covered in white this morning, not snow, but ice. Yeah, lots of people here in Norfolk. Nice. Good morning. Okay, so today we have a new point of the week, like I said. But first of all, we're just going to check in, see how we're doing generally. And Basti will be on the chat, so if you have any questions, he will flag them up and hopefully answer any questions that you have. So, oh wow, hi Chris in Tenerife. Sounds wonderful. Hope it's nice and warm. Let me see if I can get this camera changed a little bit. Right. So we're just going to start by moving our bodies. Just having a little shake. Shake it all out. Especially for some of us who it's very, very chilly. It's always really good to get things moving. Keep things moving, get the blood flowing, and of course, as soon as you're moving, you're getting your Qi flowing, and when your Qi flowing, then your blood is flowing. So it's always good to have a good shake. And interestingly, the Chinese say that shaking cures 1,000 diseases. So what's not to love? So we're just going to start with your right side, giving the right leg a shake, shaking off your toes. You can't see my toes, but they're shaking. Shaking off the upper leg. And then really getting into your hip, opening your hip up. Holding onto a wall if you need to, and just really getting into that, into this joint here. Bring your knee up to your chest, taking out to the side. And then also bringing it back, taking it in your hand, just creating space at the front of your hip here. And just being really gentle when you start. We're going to do that again, bring your knee up to your chest, bringing it out to the side, and then bringing it around the back. And I even feel to massage this area, just create some warmth in that hip. And again, even if you're sitting on a chair, just bringing your hip up, your knee up to your chest, up over to the side. And those of us standing, just bringing it up to the back, creating space in that front hip area. Good. Placing your foot down and just have a look, see how it feels from your right to your left. And wow, for me, it's a huge difference. This leg feels really wide and open, a lot more movement in my hip. And this one is still cold from my chilly walk here and still feeling a bit tight and definitely less expansive. So we're going to do it on the other side, rooting down through the opposite leg and then lifting up the other foot, giving it a really good shake. Shake out the toes, shake out the foot. Good morning to everybody who's just joined us. We're just getting our bodies moving. It's a really chilly day here in Norwich, so just getting our bodies moving to start with. And shaking out that leg, shaking out the upper leg, as if you're shaking off the muscles, creating space. Okay, now getting into the hip. So if it's easy, rotating your hip, you can hold onto a wall Or if you're sitting down, still just bringing your hip up and out. And if it feels nice, bringing your hip up, bring your knee up to your chest. Here's my 2 pairs of socks. Out to the side. And if it feels nice, we're going to take it to the back and hold on with the other hand, grounding down into the other leg. And for me, it felt really nice just to rub the front of this leg because these muscles feel quite tight for me, creating space. So this is so nice to do when you wake up in the morning, just getting everything moving, getting your lymph going. Saying hello to these big joints. We're going to do that again. Have a little shake. Bring your knee up to your chest. Take it out to the side. And then bringing it round to the back. And I can already feel it feels a little easier for me. Hopefully it does for you. Just getting into whatever feels good. For me, it feels nice to take it out to the side a little bit. And again, shaking it out. I'm going to do that one more time. Bring your knee up to your chest. His toes a wiggle. Over to the side. And around to the back. Nice. So placing, just really shaking out both hips now because we're going to rotate them just because I can feel where I was holding my balance in the other hip, just loosening that out. And round to the other side. Just taking these moments to come into your body. Waking the body up. Okay, now let's get into the upper body. So we're going to start with the trunk. And what's really nice for this whole area, really tonifies meridians that running through, is swaying from side to side. So starting very gently with your hips relaxed, your knees relaxed, your feet relaxed. And just swaying from side to side. Just focusing on your vertebrae. Imagine you're being held from the top of your head upwards, and then everything else is very light and loose, but just moving on that axis. Taking the movements a little bit bigger now. And you can probably feel your diaphragm starting to relax, really enjoying this exercise, starting to take some deeper breaths. And now what's really nice is to warm it up with your hands. Really focusing on your kidneys, sending some Qi here. On the sides of your body. And then going around your navel. Having a little shake of the hips while I'm here. Okay, coming up into your upper body, rotating your shoulders forwards, upwards and backwards. Just however feels comfortable for you, just starting off slowly, warming up gently. And now we're going to take one shoulder and the other. So they're moving, one's moving forward, one's moving backwards. And now we're going to let the elbows lead. Hopefully you can really feel this opening into your sides. I can really feel my chest is starting to open a lot more. The breath coming into my upper chest much more easily. And now letting your wrist lead the motion. And even whilst they're going backwards and forwards, creating a stretch that way as well. Feeling more space. Okay, I'm going to go the other way. Let's see if I can do that. Which one was I going? That way? Okay, now we're going to go the opposite way. Create more space. It's kind of forward swimming motion. Just bringing more movement into your upper body. Turning from side to side, leaning over gently. Right, having a little bounce up and down, shaking the legs, shaking the upper body. And now we're just going to get a little bit more movement in the head and the face. We're going to start just doing some tapping around the top of your head, around the sides, on the face, waking up the face. You've got this wonderful point either side of your nostrils, which really helps open up your sinuses, open up the breath. So just taking a few deep breaths into there. So hopefully now you feel your breathing mechanism much easier. So it's always a great place to start. Just really noticing everything feeling a bit looser. Okay, so now that we're feeling a bit more in our bodies, the energy is moving, I'm just going to do a quick scan of our 3 burners. So coming into your alignment, just having your feet relaxed on the floor, knees, hips relaxed. Feeling your head being pulled up towards the sky, creating space in your vertebrae. Your shoulders are relaxed, your elbows, your hands are relaxed. I'm just going to check in with your burners. I'm going to start with the lower burner. Just this space here. How does it feel today? If you had to draw a picture, or if there was a colour or a sound, what would it be like? And now coming up into your middle burner. Well, this is where all the digestion happens. Just placing your hands over there or checking into your middle burner. And if there was a picture or a sound or some colours, what would it be like? How would you describe what's going on with your middle burner? And then coming up into your upper burner, your upper chest, your heart and lungs area. Just checking in with your middle burner, your upper burner, sorry. What's happening there? Okay, so I'm just going to drop mine down. You can do the same if you've been doing that each week. Let's see. Let's see what's been happening in the chat. Let's camera down. Great. So for me, let's see, I'm just going to run a poll just to see how it was for you guys. So from that, I'm just going to do this poll. From doing this exercise, which burner do you want to work on most today? So we'll just see where we're going to focus the class. Oh, great. Very balanced. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Okay, it's changing slightly, but that's interesting. Okay, so the upper burner has got the most votes at the moment. It keeps changing. The upper burner does have the most votes, so I think we'll do a little bit of each, but that's very interesting. Okay, it's quite balanced today. Okay, yes, Basti says, what a healthy bunch. Okay, perfect. So quite interestingly, I usually get pictures or something, but actually today I got mostly colors. So when I was scanning into my lower burner, actually it felt very calm, but I kind of had this blue, basically a blue color came up in this lower burner for me, and then coming up into this middle burner, it was very much like an orange color, and kind of bright, sunny. And then up into the upper burner, for me, it felt very kind of light, felt a bit white, felt quite white. That was sort of the color that was coming up. And interestingly, I did just feel like a little bit of tension up in this upper burner out of all of them. So that's interesting. That's what we're going to be focusing on today. Okay, so what we'll do is I think everybody's everyone's good in the chat. Let's get some water. I'm going to introduce the point of the week. So we're focusing on the conception and the governing vessels this next few weeks. And I know Kat was explaining the CV3 point last week. And today we're going to look at the CV6, which is a little bit higher up. And I know she shared this slide with you. It's just a brief overview. This is where the CV points run, which is the front of the body, exactly in the midline. And And it's very subtle. We use this a lot in Qi Gong, and like thinking about opening up this is always very useful to get the energy moving. And the point of this is what Kat did with you last week. So if you missed it, feel free to go back and you can catch up with that one. We're going to be focusing on CV6. It's also known as Ren 6. It's also known of the Sea of Qi or Sea of Qi, which is meant like the Sea of Energy. So it's a very, very important and powerful point in Shiatsu and acupuncture, and we'll often think about it when we're doing our Qi Gong practice. And you'll find it 1.5 sun. So a sun is 1.5 thumb widths. So it's literally, when you come to your navel, it's literally 1.5 sun below the navel. Don't know if I can get, let's see if I can get, just sit up. So here's my navel. And then it's just 1.5 sun below there. So you can find that by pressing. And it's also very nice to hold. Place one hand at the back while you're doing that. So as you're focusing your thumb in, you can connect with the hand at the back. So this point, even by the name of it, the Sea of Qi, the Sea of Qi, kind of explains its importance. I find it really powerful. Like when I'm doing a treatment, I'll often check in at the beginning to see how it feels on my clients, and then also check in at the end after I've done the treatment. And the other thing that's really wonderful to do is a little like gathering exercise, which we'll do now, which is bringing all the Qi, bringing all your focus, your energy into this point. And as we know, this is in your lower burner, and your lower burner is very important. As we know, it's got 3 reproductive organs, the kidneys and the bladder there. So bringing that, having this area very strong and very powerful helps your whole body. The kidneys, the bladder have a very much a big part to play in how much energy you have, how relaxed you feel. It also helps balance out your nervous system. So working on this point is very powerful. And we're going to have the rest of the session giving some more attention to that area. As you can see just from these notes, it's really great at moves and regulates the lower burner and everything to do with this lower area. Really powerful to help with the digestion. And if you have symptoms like weakness in your limbs, if people have got like a weak pulse or a weak voice, then those are really good signs that this point will be useful. It's also if you have any pain in the area, it also help strengthen it as it brings energy, brings blood into that area, and also it has a connection with the knees. It also strongly tonifies your yang, which is opposite to your yin. So it's your yang is more like the outward, the heat, it brings heat into the body. So if you have coldness in your body, then it really helps warm it up. Again, it has a lot to do with this weak voice. And it's interesting, the Chinese talk about how the cold can invade your body. And so if you do get cold, or if you sat, say, on a cold surface for a long amount of time, that cold can get into your body and it can affect your intestines. So what it can do is, I don't know if people have experienced this, but we have, we have, I will make this. We have the, it can create, like, give you diarrhea, those kind of things, just from having cold enter the body. It also has something to do with, the vomiting. So yeah, also that. So either diarrhea, vomiting, but also just improves the general thing. So yeah, sorry that the slide, I don't know, my screen is huge so I can see the writing, but if you've got a small screen then the writing might be quite small, but it's just to give you a general idea of what this Ren 6 point, the CV6 point is good for. Okay. And just to quickly check back in with the chakra, this is where it's going to be helping, the second chakra. And a little bit more information on this is to do, to have it free, the energy free flowing here really helps with our relationships because of this whole connection with our reproductive organs, and also helps. It's also very important point to help with your general creative energy force. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing the slides now, and we're going to do a little bit of work, just wakening this area up. So first of all, just coming into your hands and your knees, coming into this cat-cow position. I'm going to get this camera lower. Coming into this cat-cow position. That's the way. Okay. I'm just warming up the spine, thinking about this lower back area, and bringing your tailbone down, your head down towards the floor, and just arching the middle back up a little bit. And then the other way, bring your head and your tailbone up towards the sky, and then reversing that into the middle. Just wakening up the spine. This wakens up your CV and your GB channels. The CV runs on the front body and the GB on the back body, down the spine. Just taking this really easy. If you haven't done much today, just taking it really slowly. Now we're going to come into a child's pose to see whatever child pose feels best for you. For me, I quite like to have my knees wide and then just resting my body forward. And then if you can't relax your head or your chest on the floor, then just to get a support underneath you, getting a nice big cushion or something, and just coming forward. And we're really just stretching out this lower spine, your lumbar spine, by relaxing. Just by relaxing, we're stretching it out, and we're creating space for your lower vertebrae. And taking some deep breaths in this position, having your hands with your head resting on your hands or the floor or on a cushion. And even just taking deep breaths into your lower abdomen. You're creating a little stretch in your spine. And if you have any lower back issues, if this is uncomfortable for you, just taking it really easy. But this is something I find really amazing to help ease my lower back, and this is what I do usually about 10 minutes when I wake up, depending on if I've got the time, but I'll spend at least 10 minutes in this position, stretching out my lower back, creating space in my hips. And then slowly coming out of this position. And how was that for you? Is that okay? Okay, now we're going to just create a little bit more space. I know we've done this opening already. Just bringing up one hand up towards the ceiling, up towards the sky, and using the other hand, stretching out and going over to the side. as if we were in one, we were going a lot across the wall or something, staying very in line, but going over to the side. So you're not coming forward and you're not going back, just going straight over to the side. And on each inhale, seeing if there's a little bit more space there for you. And then coming back up. And then the opposite hand coming up towards the ceiling, up towards the sky. The opposite hand reaching out and creating space in your lower lumbar. And coming back down. Now we're going to do one of my favorite Qi Gong exercises. And you can do this standing or sitting. And I'm going to do it sitting down today. But this is really great either way. Okay, so we're going to think about this Ren 6 point. And we're going to imagine, and often it is happening, most of it's happening in your imagination, like you're really thinking about the point moving. But we're going to find the point again, which is 1.5 sun, which is 1.5 thumb widths below your navel. So here's my navel. I'm going to take 1 sun, and then a half, and then I'm going to find Ren 1 just there, placing my other hand at the back, finding this point, noticing it, and noticing the halfway point between my thumb and my hand. I don't know if you can hear my tummy rumbling, it's a little bit empty. Breathing into that space. And now what we're going to do is we're going to imagine this point is doing a circle. And so it looks very subtle on the outside, but when you're using your imagination, you're really going to imagine as if this point was drawing a circle, okay? So bringing it forward. And all I'm doing is, for me, I'll just move to the side so you can see, is I'm just moving bringing my navel slightly forward, if you can see, just coming slightly forward, and then turning to the left, and then to the back, and then to the right. So drawing a circle with this CV point. And I can already feel it really massaging all my intestines, my tummy's making lots of noises. We're going to do this, placing your hands wherever's comfortable, but I'm just imagining I'm moving this point. Gosh, I don't know if you can hear my tummy going. So it doesn't matter which way you start, clockwise or anti-clockwise, just make a note. And when I'm pushing my spine out, when I'm pushing the point back, I'm really bringing my tummy in. And as if I'm taking that point to the side, to the front, to the other side. So this point is leading the movement, and my body is following. I can really feel it massaging my vertebrae as I'm moving like this. Just really slowly. This is a really amazing exercise, Qi Gong exercise. Just gathering Qi into your lower burner, into this lower area. And as we know, wherever we take our attention, the energy will follow. So wherever we take our attention, the energy will accumulate and build. Okay. And now we're going to come back to the center. Just close your eyes, take your focus into your body. How does it feel? And now I'm going to do it the other way. So starting, moving the point forward to the other side, to the back, the side, front. So like I said, this point is leading the motion, and the rest of my body is following. You can do minute movements, or you can do bigger movements, whatever feels good. So we're nourishing this lower bana. We're bringing more energy into your digestive areas, into your reproductive area. Your lumbar spine is really benefiting, and then we're having more energy, more Qi. Wherever the Qi flows, that's where the blood flows. So you have more blood flow into this area. It's also doing a really great job of clearing. So if you've got any stuck energy there, not only will it build energy, it will also help move stagnant energy. This is can be really powerful if people are having issues with periods, irregular periods, or say they're not really coming on or stopping clearly. You know, it might take a few days to start or a few days to finish. This is a really great practice. You might find that after doing this, you might have it can clear things. So you might have a bit of a bleed in between periods. Don't worry, that's very normal. It's just clearing out. It's just if something was a bit stuck there, it's moving it out. Really fantastic for your digestive area. So if things are getting stuck, or if you're feeling constipated, or if you've got diarrhea, it's a really great way to balance it. And like you can probably feel, it really brings warmth to the area. So we always want to keep this area warm and protect it from cold, because like I explained, the cold can do it can stiffen the area, but it also can bring on diarrhea. So keeping this area warm is very important. In Chinese culture, they would always keep this area warm. Not only would they be dressed warm, but they'd also maybe wrap a wool scarf around them, just to really make sure no wind, no cold is getting through. So again, this is something you can do for a few minutes. It's something you can do for 10, 15 minutes, however you're feeling, whatever time you've got. It's also something you can do if you're sitting at the desk and you're working, or if you're reading, if you're knitting, whatever you're doing. This is just something that doesn't, you can also do it standing, like I said, but it doesn't, you can still carry on getting on with your day. Okay, and coming back to the center, I'm just going to rotate my shoulders a little bit, closing your eyes and just tuning in. How does that feel? So for me, it feels much warmer. And now, because I had a color before for this lower burner, it felt quite blue. Now it definitely feels more alive. It's much more of an orangey red color. Okay, I'm just gonna just write in the chat, just put your thumbs up if you notice any difference, or maybe write a comment if anything happened for you. Great. Bastine felt something. Lynn. Oh, that's great. Feeling much stronger. And your grace. That's really great. This is such a wonderful exercise to do. I always recommend it to my clients as well. Okay, so now we're going to come and just do a little bit more work with this upper burner, because I know this was something for a lot of us. We're going to do a breathing exercise. So we're going to free this up a little bit, okay? So we're going to start with breathing into your lower abdomen. Then we're going to breathe into the sides of your chest. And then we're going to come up all the way up into your upper chest, okay? Because although some people often find their breathing only into the upper chest and find it difficult to breathe into the lower abdomen, I think everyone on here is probably very good at breathing into the lower abdomen. I feel like if you've been coming here regularly, it's something that you do. You're very rehearsed in it. So we're going to start breathing into your lower, coming up into the sides of your ribs, and then we're going to bring it all the way up into your upper chest. I know a lot of us who do a lot of Qi Gong are very familiar with breathing into your lower abdomen, but I find that the upper chest sometimes gets it gets a little bit forgotten about or not breathed into fully, because actually taking a deep breath in all the way up into your upper chest, you're really sending signals to your body that you're very much alive, you're full of vitality, and you're really like claiming your whole breath, claiming your whole life. So this is really like being aware and awake and into your body and in the world, okay? I find this really useful. Okay, that's great. Rory said that the middle burner was a bit stuck before, it's moved now, and the lower burner felt a little bit empty. It feels fuller now. Great. So even any movement towards more of a fuller, better feeling is great. It means that the energy really has changed, and with it's something that obviously doing a little bit every day, also you'll start to notice those changes get bigger and bigger. So we're going to take some breaths into your lower abdomen. You can do this closing your eyes open, whatever feels good for you. I find it useful when I'm closing my eyes, I can do more of a visualization. So breathing into your lower abdomen, just taking a few deep breaths there to begin with. And I like to imagine as I'm breathing in like a golden warm light that's filling up the space in my lower abdomen. And now we're going to take this breath out into your ribs. So even find it useful placing your hands on the side of your ribs like I am here. And as you breathe in, you can imagine your hands being pushed away. So the breath is pushing the hands out. Really taking the breath into this space. Really loosening up the whole of the breathing mechanism at this point. Really feeling the ribs expanding, opening, and contracting and closing. Coming in, opening wide, pushing your hands out. Really feels like an exercise. If we're not used to doing it, it's a real bit of a workout. And now we're going to take our hands to this upper chest, to your upper burner. And on the inhales, again, placing your fingertips maybe underneath your clavicle here. And as you breathe in, you're going to imagine again the breath is pushing your fingertips away. So we're taking really deep breaths into your upper chest. Some of you might feel a little bit lightheaded when we're doing this deep breathing because more oxygen's coming into your body. Just going to keep it going. It will start to regulate itself. Deep breaths into this upper chest area. And even as you do this, you'll probably find your energy changing, you're creating more space. And the breath is really moving any stagnant energy. Now that we've focused on your lower, your middle and your upper burners with this full breath, we're going to think about breathing into all of the areas now, okay? So breathing into your lower, your middle and your upper burners all at one time. So we're not going to do it like a wave. We're not going to do the lower, middle, then upper. We're going to do it all at the same time. So breathing into your lower, middle and upper at the same time. Imagine everything expanding out and then everything coming in. So even like this balloon, or imagine like this chi ball opening, expanding, and then closing, coming in. Okay, so this open expansion and this closing contraction. A bit like an accordion, opening and closing. I'm going to take some time to do this. And what we're going to try and do is something called circular breathing. So we're not going to pause on the inhale or the exhale. Just imagine you're breathing this circular thing. So you're not stopping at the top and stopping at the bottom. You're just keeping this breath going, always breathing in or out like babies do. Always breathing in or out. You can also think about it like a wave, building up your breath, and then as it drops down, it goes away. But it doesn't hold, it breathes, it comes up and drops away, comes up and drops away. So whichever works best for you, you can think about the circular breathing or the wave-like breath, but just losing the pause on the inhale or exhale, okay? And just in your own time, breathing in and out, breathing into your lower, middle and upper all at the same time, doing these connected breaths. And we're just going to spend a few minutes doing this. With just this special attention, really knowing that you're breathing into all the way up into your upper chest. Freeing your upper chest, creating space there. This connected breathing is amazing if you've got any anxiety or suffering from depression. It really gets the energy moving. Really sends a signal to your body that you're alive, that you're vital, that you're ready to take on life. This is the breath that we had as babies, just this connected breathing, always breathing in or out. Can also free up your breathing mechanism. We often stop breathing when we're in a stressful or a traumatic moment. We'll often stop breathing, hold our breath. So even by just doing this connected breathing, we're coming back into your body and telling your body that you're safe, that you're well, that it's safe to breathe. Massaging all your organs, creating more space, bringing more blood flow, more chi, more energy into your body, bringing more oxygen into your body with each of these full breaths And also with the easy exhale, you're already telling your body that it's easy to let go. It's safe to let go. You can let go of control. You can let go of things are no longer serving you. Sticking with this connected breathing, breathing in or out. You might feel yourself a bit lightheaded. That's often happen. You might find your feet, your hands are tingling. Even you might find tension coming into the body. And the tension really is where, on an energetic level, we are resisting the breath. So we're just going to keep it going, keep it flowing. You might find areas becoming more alive. That's great. Really making sure you take that breath all the way up into your upper chest, so your lower abdomen, your sides, and all the way up into your upper chest. Freeing up the whole of your breathing mechanism, keeping the breath going, inhaling and exhaling. Again, this is a daily practice you can do. Really, like I said, really helps with anxiety, really helps with depression. If you're feeling like you've got anxiety in your chest, really help release it. Taking these full deep breaths, full deep exhales, releasing any energy that's stuck. Like I said, really imagining this ball expanding as if you're a Qi ball, expanding out and then contracting in on each inhale and exhale. Now we're just going to relax your breath, coming back into what feels more like a natural breath for you and moving your body. Stretching from side to side. Ooh, I feel quite lightheaded, which is a good sign, moving that energy into my body. Stretching from side to side like we were doing earlier. Turning from side to side. How was that? Does anybody feel any difference? Scanning into your upper burner. How's it feeling now? So for me, at the beginning, I felt a little bit tightness in this midline, and now that's really dispersed. I feel much lighter. Yeah, I can really feel like that energy is dispersed now. Instead of feeling light around here and tight here, it's really just everything's buzzing. So that's good. Oh, that's great. Also says great feeling of letting go. Good. That exhale is so powerful. Really just being able to have it exhaling freely. It's really good. Really sending messages to your body that it's safe to let go, that it's safe to let go of control. That's often like when we're in stressful times, you know, we really try and sometimes we even tighten our body just to think, okay, I'm really holding on, you know, I've got this, I'm holding on, you know, and it's really kind of sending a message to your body that it needs to be in that fight or flight state. So by just breathing fluidly, you're really sending these messages to your body. It's safe to let go. It's safe to let go of control. And it's also tuning into the aspect of trust, being able to trust that everything will be okay. And this sends, you know, that obviously brings your body into that beautiful state of rest and repair, which is the opposite of fight or flight. So I find this powerful, really powerful practice. Let's see what you guys are saying. Yeah, great. James says it's a reminder to feel safe and well, which is needed. Great, good. Gillian says it's light and freer. That's wonderful. Good. Caroline's very relaxed and tingly. Yeah, me too. Feel really super tingly. When I do this practice for a long time, I can even start to feel like things. I start to feel like very much in my extremities, really tingly, which is good. Yeah, Tahira said, yeah, she went to a yoga class a while ago and said that, yeah, the teacher was surprised that people are just breathing into the belly. And I must admit, I was also very much into that, like breathe, you know, I really wanted to build up this lower dantian, this lower burner area. So I was really focusing on my breath here. But when I realized that actually, you know, it's important to breathe into your chest, to really, it sends a message to life that you really are claiming it, you really are taking in everything that you can. And obviously, like, our breath is so important, so to be able to make the most of it, to really literally, it's like you've got a glass of water and you're drinking the whole glass. You're really making them, taking in everything that you can. Lynn said she got quite emotional, and this is very normal when you're doing breath work, because we hold things in the body. Like, there's a great book that called The Body Keeps the Score. So like, we know we hold things in our tissues. So even by just freeing things up, it might bring up a memory, or it might bring up an emotion that is connected to that time that you held your breath. So just by breathing freely, we're all, you know, definitely emotions can come up. So this is something to do if you are feeling emotional, but also it's something to do when you do have those quiet moments to yourself. It's quite useful to journal afterwards, just to keep things moving. And it's also, you know, it's great if you can share with somebody, I think, as well, how you're feeling. Good, great. So we've just got a few moments left of today's class. I just want to do a little practice, okay? It's cool. Just bringing everything back into your body and really focusing on this CV6 point. So placing your hands over the CV6, closing your eyes if you'd like to, and just thinking about how powerful this point is, and how when we nourish it, like by pressing it, by thinking about it, by bringing energy into it, we're really supporting this chakra here, this second chakra, which governs your creativity, your reproductive organs, your digestion. And you're going to imagine yourself. So I'm going to imagine myself, Shakura, thinking about my energy, and just knowing that whenever I'm thinking about something, whenever I'm focusing on something, that's where my energy is going. So in these last few moments, I'm going to think, and I want you to think about yourselves. Just bringing this energy as if your energy is coming back into your body, whatever project you're working on, whatever you're up to at the moment, just bringing this energy into your body, coming down through the top of your head. I quite like that idea. It's coming down through the top of my head, down my midline, and it's being stored in this point here, the CV6 point, just below my navel. Just thinking about what you've been doing, where maybe you've been traveling, and just thinking what energy was with you all the time. And just want you to imagine this energy coming back into your body. Like, I like to think about it like circulating around, coming back, down through that midpoint in my head, back into my body. So it's a really wonderful thing to do at the end of the day, when you're lying in bed or sitting up in bed, and just think about what you did throughout your day, and just bringing all this valuable energy into your body. And we're just going to end there, okay? If you want any more advice on any of the things we did today, feel free to email us, admin@shiatsucenter.co.uk. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. There's lots of things in the chat. Thank you. That's great. Lovely, lovely. Thank you for joining us this morning. And like, you'll get the recording. So if there's anything you want to go back to, please do. And like I said, if you've got any questions, you can email us and we'll get back to you. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Take care. I'm going to end the session. And thank you to Basti. Gosh, Basti, you are busy. Thank you for all your help today. Thank you.